Peace, 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 peace to the family, peace to the planet Earth. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever time it is where you are. Just want to talk about this R. Kelly situation real quick. Um, first and foremost, first and foremost, um, R. Kelly's a piece of shit, right? I'm a man of a certain age, so I remember seeing the R. Kelly video, right? I think I was in my late, actually early 20s when the video first came out. And I remember it being at this place in New York called Tower Records. And that shit sold out like, when they first announced it, that shit sold out in like a day. And, you'd have to, I think I saw it on a bootleg cassette, a bootleg VCR cassette that someone had. Um, and the thing about it is at the time, sex tapes and sex tape scandals weren't really a big thing. It wasn't really like the Kim Kardashian tape didn't come out, the Paris Hilton tape didn't come out. So sex tapes weren't really a thing that was happening. So it was big, like it was huge, it was massive at the time. So the tape sold out, it was sold out super duper fast. So, and it was disturbing, it was disturbing. The second half because the first half he was with a regular woman, over legal consenting age, at least she looked like it, woman. And the second half he was obviously with a child, there was no denying it. So from then it's like, okay, this guy is a child molester, he's a pedophile. There's no, that was the consensus. Everybody knows that shit. But there was no social media. So people, still supported R. Kelly, still listened to his music. Look, I still listen to his music. I wouldn't say supported him, but I still listen to his music. And because I separated the man from the music. So, and I still honestly think you could do that. I honestly think you could separate the man from the music. Like, maybe not the romantic stuff, but like the I Wishes, I Believe I Can Flies. He wrote songs for Michael Jackson. He wrote You and I Alone for Michael Jackson. He wrote, he wrote crazy songs that are like iconic songs today, and a lot of people don't know. Now, is his legacy tarnished now? Of course. Like Bill Cosby? Absolutely. The thing about R. Kelly is that, yes, he's a predator. Yes, he's a piece of shit. Yes, he was taking advantage of young girls. He obviously has a fetish for young girls. That's his thing, right? And the thing is there's millions of R. Kellys out there. R. Kelly's not the only one. He's not going to be the only one. And obviously by the Me Too movement and all these other people coming out, the Weinsteins and, these people accused of rape charges and child molestation charges. I remember there was an article where they were talking about they scrubbed some of the computers from the people in Congress and all they found was child molestation. Now, they didn't make a big deal because it was people in Congress. But yeah, there was nothing but child molestation, child porn on their computers. So predators are out there. And predators are out there to get at children and get at kids and take advantage of people that are younger. This is a fact. This is what's happening. So we can mute R. Kelly all day, right? We could mute, actually before that, R. Kelly, so we had the sex tape, boom. Then R. Kelly came out, went to interview where they was like, I think it was Torre, and he was like, do you like teenage girls? And he was like, well, when you say teenager, what you talking about? And it's like, okay, like any sane man that's just doesn't like young kids is going to say no. Now you can say teenagers 18 and 19, but no man is really thinking about that fringe teenage, spot of 18 and 19 when they're talking about teenagers. We normally are thinking about children that are teenagers when we're talking teenagers. We're not thinking about an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. They are considered adults in America. So And he's an American, so he knows what the fuck a teenager is, right? So it's like, okay, this dude is wild, you know? And now the Lifestyle special comes out, and everybody's up in arms, everybody's going crazy. But this man had a track history, you know? His concerts still sold out. People were still going to see him. He had a track history. And it's like, it's not like it's not like the 6-part special exposed something new. Maybe how he was getting them, I didn't watch it. To me, that's trauma porn. And, you know, I understand that there's certain objectives, especially around the time, you know, R. Kelly's 6-part series came out around the time of a partial eclipse. So I understand how Hollywood works. I understand it's a magic making machine. I understand that it's designed to sway opinion. It's designed to sway perspective. So, and I understand that astrological events such as eclipses and new moons signify things spiritually for us here in the physical world, because whether we like it or know it, we are tied to astrological events. So the R. Kelly thing is, there's predators out here, you know? There's predators out there. People knew about R. Kelly. People knew about R. Kelly for years. They still supported him. They still, you know, his team still enabled him to do this. The record company still enabled him to do this in the name of currency, in the name of capital, money over everything, you know, cash over everything, which is why that idea of money and cash over everything is dangerous, because this is what happens when it's money over everything. This is what happens when it's cash over everything. You know, you get situations like this where you have, you know, molesters and people taking advantage of children. So the thing is this: if we know there's molesters out there, we know there's predators out there, and if this 6-part series was to expose the behavior or expose how predators attack prey, then yeah, mute R. Kelly. Cool. Okay. But you muted R. Kelly. Let's say R. Kelly's muted. Nobody's listening to R. Kelly anymore, right? Although Spotify shows that his shit jumped 16%. But let's say, for fantasy purposes, everybody's not listening to R. Kelly. Now what? Now what? Because people that are molesting are still going to molest. Like people that, you know, deal with pedophilia, they're usually repeat offenders. You know, they usually are repeat offenders. In fact, you could probably take out your smartphone. There's an app where you could look at people that are convicted of sexual charges, pedophilia, things with sex with a minor, all that. And you could pull up an app and there's tons of them in your neighborhood. You could do that shit right now. There's tons of them right in your neighborhood, around your block, all of that. So there's predators out here amongst us right now. So the thing is it R. Kelly, or is it up to us as parents? Is it up to us as adults? Is it up to us as family members to give our kids the tools to take care of themselves, to give our children the tools to protect themselves, to give our children the game? Because everything is getting preyed on, right? At the end of the day, we're all animals. We're all mammals. So there's predators and then there's prey. That's just the way it is. If you go to work, there's somebody that wants your job. If you are out in the street, there's somebody that wants your girl or your man. There's somebody that wants the things that you have. There's somebody that might be jealous of you. You know, predator and prey. It's still a predator and prey situation, just in a adult or human form, you know? So we look at it like we're not animals, but yet we still behave with animalistic behavior. We still have animal-like tendencies, primal urges, so to speak. So we can't discount the fact that there's people that are not going to behave the way that society prescribes them. And there's people that can't be shamed out of that behavior by muting them or canceling them. We have to teach our children what to do. We have to teach our children certain touches aren't appropriate. We have to teach our children not to sit, on men's laps that are not immediate. Like, I don't even want my daughter to sit on, their uncle's laps, their male cousin's laps. Like, I don't want that shit to happen. I don't want them to feel comfortable feeling like that they're around another man and a man can touch them like that. Teach them, don't let someone touch your private parts. Teach them, if you're in school, don't let somebody touch you here or say this to you. Don't let nobody tell you to keep a secret. If they're doing something to you, make sure you always tell me, or make sure you always tell your other parent, your mother. I constantly ask them, if they're out and if they're away, did so-and-so touch you? Is everything okay? Did anybody bother you? Things like that. And constantly, if they're spending the night someplace, constantly, vet the person that they spend the night with. There's a lot of situations that I've personally had where within a week, a woman that I'm dating wants me to watch their kid for a couple of hours, or wants me to take them to the store, or just me and the child, or, pick them up from the, this place, just me and the child. And a week or 2 weeks, even a month. And I always decline because I'm not comfortable. Like, I don't want to be around your child. Like, and you shouldn't feel comfortable having a man around your child so early without properly vetting him and making sure that, and even vetting them, still making sure that you are in constant communication with that child that's around a stranger or because everybody's a potential predator. I don't care if it's uncles. I don't care if it's brothers, cousins, aunts. You don't know who the fuck is a predator out here. You think because they family that they not going to touch your kids? These motherfuckers will touch your kids if you're not on point and if you're not on them. If you're not taking care of your kids, and not taking care is not just feeding them and making sure they look fly to go to school and making sure they have a place to sleep. Like, that's not taking care of them. Taking care of them and protecting them is constant communication and making sure that they are protected. And that's checking in with them. Making sure that they know what body parts aren't supposed to be touched. Making sure they know what's not supposed to be said to them. Making sure they know not to keep secrets about anything sexual. Making sure they know to scream if something's out of pocket. Making sure they know to run if something is crazy. Making sure they know to bite if something is crazy. If you got teenagers, get them some fucking, and they're women, make sure they got some mace. Even the boys get molested all the time. And people must be leaving their kids with anybody, thinking that they safe and not checking in with them after you leave them with somebody. I don't care who they are. Family, friends, check in with your kids. Check in with your kids. Make sure that they are protected. Make sure that they know you are there to protect them. My kids know I'm going to kill somebody. And I don't mind saying this on a public forum. Because you're not going to do something with mine and it's just going to be, R. Kelly's house would have had grenades all over that shit. You're not just going to keep my kid and trap him. Now, if I try to get my daughter decides at a certain age that she wants to go and be with a person like this, and there's no talking them out of it, and, not 13, 14 either. I'm talking about like 18, 19, and this is what they want to do, and as adults, they have that choice, then even though that's my child, what am I going to do? They are considered an adult. I will talk, and I will fight, but I'm not letting no 12, 13, 11, No, you're not just going to violate mine. So, I say that, and in conclusion, R. Kelly's a piece of shit. But let's not just, focus on R. Kelly. Let's focus on being proactive. It's easy to be very reactive on what happened with R. Kelly. It's easy to just react. It's easy to just be angry. I'm sure people who have dealt with molestation issues and, child pedophilia themselves were triggered, you could definitely see the people that were triggered. You know, I've seen women post every day for the last 7 days about R. Kelly. So I know that people are triggered. I know people have hidden. And also with that, you know, seek some counseling, seek some healing. Again, be proactive. Be proactive with your kids. And if you've experienced sexual abuse and sexual trauma, be proactive with the healing. Go to a counselor. See, you know, maybe learn meditation. Go, you know, for you, whatever spiritual practice you have, figure out how to, you know, heal from that pain and from that physical trauma. And work on it actively, because you don't have to be a victim to anything in life. You really don't. By definition, I'm supposed to be depressed by now. I have seasonal affective disorder. But I told myself that I don't have that shit. And I fight that shit. I take ashwagandha, which is a herb for happiness. I take St. John's wort, which is another herb that helps promote happiness. And I get some sun and I get my calcium. You know, I try to do things that are proactive. I try to be solution oriented, because the predators are out there. There's a world of animals, you know. The bird is going to snatch the beaver. The hawk is going to snatch the beaver if the beaver's caught slipping. That's just the animal world, you know. That's the animal world. The snake is going to catch the mouse if the mouse is slipping. The mouse ain't on point and the snake just sees the mouse just chilling. The snake is the predator. Snake is going to catch that mouse. But that mouse knows, okay, this snake is here. I can't come out at a certain time. Well, let me be aware of these snakes. Now the mouse is being proactive and the mouse is protecting himself. So just don't get bit and be like, oh, I got bit. The snake is bad. Yeah, the snake is bad. How you going to protect yourself from the snakes? And how you going to make sure the people around you are protected from snakes? So the thing is, we just can't be reactionary when these things happen. We can't just, oh, the media gives us something and we're all up in arms, you know? Because that's just being reactionary. In a week, that feeling's going to fade about R. Kelly. And these kids are still out here unprotected just because you just mad. Or these kids out here, you know, not communicating with you. And you're not giving these kids the game on how to protect themselves out here. But you just mad. Like, nah. We have to make sure that our children are protected. We have to make sure that we are healing ourselves. We have to make sure that we let our children and let the people that we love know that this world is a predator and prey world. And there's predators out there. Protect yourself from the predator. Because you can't just blame the predator. Because the predator is always going to be there. You got to figure out how to protect yourselves from the predators. You get a contract, similar situation. You sign up for something, you get a contract, you sign up for something without reading it. You get scammed. Now the person that gave you the contract, right? Probably their intention is to scam you. They're a predator. But it's your job. It's your job to read the contract so that you don't get scammed. So you say, nah, this ain't right. I'm not going to sign this. And maybe I'm going to go to another company for my needs. It's your job to protect yourself. It's your job to be proactive. It's your job, because this is a predator and prey world. Whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's someone else, there's people out there that are trying to get you. Even as an adult, there's people out there that are trying to get you. So let's figure out how to protect ourselves, how to protect our families, and be proactive in these things. Hopefully R. Kelly thing made parents more aware, made parents more invested in their children. And if that happened, then that's the positive thing from it. But if it just made you mad, it just made you create a whole bunch of posts about how much you hate black men or how men ain't shit and shit like that, then you're just being emotional. And that's a waste of energy, really. Peace, power, and prosperity.